Well.
Ben,
Look where we are. We're on a different platform. What is this?
this is weird. What is this YouTube?
There's a visual now, along to our voices. This is strange.
I don't know if I like this, but you dragged me into here, and here we are.
Welcome to 11's. If you're new here, we are a podcast, and we just entered the YouTube space. So welcome to our YouTube channel.
Welcome. Don't make it weird.
Yes, definitely don't make it weird.
Today, we want to talk about a very cool car that was just announced, and there's a lot to unpack here, Ben.
Yes, there is. We're going to talk about an Italian car, a very rare one that was just unveiled very recently by Alfa Romeo, and it's called the...
It's so rare, it doesn't even exist yet.
Yes. You'll never find one at this moment. This is the 33 Stradale. Jude, you want to tell us a little bit more about what this car is?
So it's a throwback, an homage, if you will, to the Tipo 33 Alfa Romeo race cars from the 1960s. This is called a Stradale because it is not a race car, it is a road car. It is a limited production car, and because it's got the number 33 in the name, they're only building 33 of these 33 Stradales.
Wow.
Makes sense, right?
Amazing.
It's got a lot going on. There are two different drivetrains to choose from. You can choose the 620 horsepower V6 that they cribbed from the Maserati MC20. Or you can choose a 750 horsepower electric powertrain. This full battery electric, no internal combustion whatsoever. Here's the thing. They kind of lose me after that. So it's a beautiful car. It's got doors that go up. It's got beautiful Italian design coming to you from, I'm going to butcher this. I work for Ferrari, by the way, for those of you who don't know. My Italian is terrible. This is the Carrozzeria Touring Superleggera. That was awful. They are a coach builder that have been doing really interesting versions of Maseratis and stuff lately. They're a very old company, but they did like a version of the F12 Berlinetta from Ferrari. They did a version of the Maserati Quattroporte, the Maserati Gran Turismo, Maserati Gran Cabrio. They're very low volume, low production, handcrafted, just Italian craftsmanship in the automotive space. They're going to be the ones building the thing. It's built on the MC20 platform, and that's all fine, but where they lose me is the 1.7 million euro price tag.
That is quite a bit of cash, isn't it?
It's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. And if the actual full-on production cars that go rolling out of that coach builder's shed look anything like this, I will be very happy and very impressed. The interior is just gorgeous. It's futuristic, but it's got very classic vibes with the center stack with actual knobs and levers that you're actually pushing and pulling. It's beautiful. But 1.7 million euros for an MC20 from a coach builder. I don't get it. What are your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I would not categorize this as a hypercar by any means. Like you said, it's essentially an MC20 with a new body. And that's like you said, Carrozzeria. I'm going to just skip that first part.
That's exactly how I said it.
Touring Superleggera is what we're going to call it going forward.
Sure.
Some of their designs are not really my favorite, but some of them I really like. Let me remind you that they did the Disco Volante back in the day.
Yeah.
Another right. Alfa Romeo that was very, very cool. I really like that design. You say that this is beautiful. I actually am not crazy about the exterior of this car.
Wow, really?
Which is funny because that's the whole selling point of this thing.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. The headlights are a little too like spiky and aggressive looking to me.
Okay.
I think the overall shape is really pretty. I do love the cockpit style interior and the way that the glass wraps around the cabin.
Right.
And I think the rear is a really good angle as well. But the front, I can't really get behind. Which I guess brings me back to that price, like 1.7 million euros for in what's in my opinion an okay looking car. Like I would rather the MC20. I'll be honest. I think the MC20 is a much prettier car,
and it's going to perform the exact same. The electric powertrain is very interesting, and Alfa Romeo is going to be fully electric by 2027 or whatever their goalpost is there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Another thing that is confusing to me is that Alfa Romeo is part of a very large company called Stellantis, which is a merger of the PSA Group, the French company, with FCA, the Italian/American company, right? And after, we've talked about this on the podcast, after FCA spun off Ferrari to be their own thing, the thinking was that Maserati would be repositioned as the supercar brand within that bigger umbrella, which makes sense. Look at the MC20. Look at the performance from the new Gran Turismo and whatever else they're coming out with next. They just came out with a track-only car called the MC Extrema, which is, again, obscenely expensive.
Right.
How does this car fit in with that positioning? Is Alfa Romeo going to be building supercars as well? How do two supercar brands coexist within a larger umbrella? I guess you could look at what the Volkswagen Group has done with, Lamborghini, Bugatti. I mean, but there is some separation there. They're not building the same thing. And this, to me, is the same thing because it quite literally is the same thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's a problem at all. I think they're not going to be a supercar brand. This is just sort of a cheap cash grab, in my opinion. It's just Alfa Romeo. It's just not their thing. Like you said, Maserati is now the supercar brand of the Stellantis group, aside from Ferrari, obviously. I don't know, but going back to the styling, like I'm thinking back to the Alfa Romeo 8C. What a beautiful car that was! Car. How stunning!
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I think what I always come back to is we need simple designs to come back. And the more I look at this new 33 Stradale, I'm getting like it almost looks like a very not like a how do I say this? It reminds me of the De Tomaso.
Ooh, good point.
But
the new one.
But it doesn't look nearly as good.
The new De Tomaso.
Yes, the new De Tomaso P72.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Yes. Stunning cars.
Yeah, because if you look at
this is kind of like a watered down, same kind of aesthetic, but not as much going on.
Right. Actually, now that we're saying this, what are the stats on a De Tomaso P72? Like, because that's got to be in the same camp in terms of price, right?
I think so, but it's not a it's not a V6 from a Maserati that's powering the De Tomaso. That is, I can guarantee you. I think that a lot of these cars kind of, the reason why you're looking at them and figuring, okay, they kind of look similar, they have a very similar aesthetic or vibe, they're all pulling from that 1960s era of race cars, supercars, not that they were called supercars back then, but like 1960s, just beautiful designs. You brought up the 8C. That was really kind of a really good halo car for the brand. I'm hoping that this is kind of a sneak preview of another, let's say, attainable supercar for Alfa Romeo that isn't priced in the millions, but also has like some solid specs. You know, if they build something that's related to the MC20 but is uniquely Alfa Romeo, and they priced it between $200,000 and $300,000, I think that is a much more compelling and much more realistic, car to actually sell and push the brand forward.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And I think there were rumors that the MC20 was actually intended to be an Alfa Romeo supercar. I don't know if that was...
Ooh.
I don't know if there's any truth to that. That would have been really interesting.
Okay.
But no, I totally agree. The 8C is one of my favorite cars, and I know that it's essentially... Isn't it a Maserati Gran Turismo underneath, essentially?
No? Question mark?
No?
I don't think so. I
could be completely wrong on that, but I would love to see a more... Like, $300,000 is still a ton of money, but it's not one of these, like, only 33 will be made, and it costs $1.7 million, which, by the way, I just looked at the P72. It starts at 1.25, and they're building 72 of them.
They're building twice as many, but I'd rather go have that.
I would much rather the P72.
And that beautiful purple color that you see in a lot of the press and media.
You know what I do? I would buy a P72 De Tomaso and an Alfa Romeo 8C with the leftover cash.
And on that note, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, and for listening and all the things. What would you do with 1.7 million euros? Would you buy the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale? Would you buy a P72 and an 8C? Or would you just invest it in the stock market? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe this video. It really helps. We will be planning on putting more content out in the future. And don't forget that we are a podcast as well. So check out all the links in the description to check out all of our other pieces and content. So I guess that is all for now. Again, thanks for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
See ya.